Welcome to the Sunday morning worship service of DuPage Unitarian Universalist Church in Naperville, Illinois for July 31st, 2022. I'm Kelly Trombley-Freitag, and my pronouns are she, hers. We are so glad you are here, whether you are present in the sanctuary this morning or watching remotely. It is so good to be together. To keep us all as safe as possible, we'll remain masked, except that those of us on the chancel will remove our masks to speak into the microphone. As Unitarian Universalists, we hold that there are many paths to truth and meaning, and we support one another on our spiritual and religious journeys. Whether you are a member or a friend of this congregation or have recently discovered us, we are glad that you are with us this morning. Whoever you are and wherever you are welcome. Finally, we are grateful for the help of our many Sunday volunteers, including the greeters, offering counters, song leaders, tech team, and ushers that make our services accessible and welcoming. Thank you all for being here this morning.
Let there be joy in our coming together this morning. Let there be truth heard in the words we speak and the songs we sing. Let there be help and healing for our disharmony and despair. Let there be silence for the voice within us and beyond us. Let there be joy in our coming together.
Please rise as you are willing and able for the hymn, Come, Come, Whoever You Are. We will sing this through 3 times. Good morning. Today, we celebrate our common faith in song. In many ways, our faith is about community. For many years, I have assisted with our introductory faith class, and in it, we usually invite people to share why they sought out our church and what they would like to find here. In each class, most people said they were looking for community. Often, they described the kind of community they were looking for: like-minded, compassionate, free-thinking. But what they were looking for was community, was connection. To sing together is to be in community, and in many ways, it creates community. I'm sure many of you have sung around a campfire or in a car with your friends. And when you sang, you probably didn't worry about how you sounded, whether you were in tune or sang right. You sang because it was fun to sing together and because it felt good to sing with friends and family. I invite you to sing that way today. Sing like this chalice flame is our campfire, and we are gathered around it in community to make community by singing these songs that reflect our values. Of course, every word may not speak to your values, but they probably speak to the values of someone in this room, someone who is part of your community. Sing these songs for yourself and for everyone here. Almost all of the hymns chosen for today's service are present in the top 10 of favorite UU hymns, as collected a few years ago by our denomination's magazine, The UU World. Together, these hymns can be seen as a reflection of that which binds us together as Unitarian Universalists. For many of us, these hymns touch something deep within us. Perhaps it is the precious memory of a time you sang with someone who is no longer here, or when you sang with your community on a special occasion. Perhaps it is a familiar melody from an outgrown faith, comfortable for its memories, and now revisioned with words that speak more truly to your heart. Perhaps it is the poetry or truth of the words, or perhaps it is the melody that touches you beyond the realm of words, embodying within you hope, passion, joy, sadness. We are Unitarian Universalists who have no dogma to join us, no creed to recite. Instead, we come together with common dreams, hopes, and aspirations that are embodied in our 7 principles. There are many ways to reflect on them, and of course, one way is through song. Today, we will examine these favorite hymns through the lens of our principles, expressing those values we hold in common. Since we will be singing so much today, I invite you to rise as you're willing and able for the hymns that we will be singing, and feel free to stay seated if you are tired of standing.
It is time to gather. So in our religion, our faith, we have the 7 principles. And if you look at them, the adult version is very wordy. Well, in our religious education program, we have the 7 principles also, but we have it in a more child-friendly version with easier words and easier concepts. So quickly I'll go through them, you'll see how easy they are. So Unitarian Universalists believe that each and every person is important. All people should be treated fairly and kindly, and we should accept one another and keep on learning together. And each person must be free to search for what is true and right in life, and everybody should have a vote about things that concern them. All people should be treated fairly, and the whole world should live together in peace. And we should care for our planet Earth, the home we share with all living things. It is almost poetic. It's almost like you could write a song using these words. In fact, there are several songs out there for the 7 principles for kids. One of them, they used the Do Re Mi song from Sound of Music. And then there's another version that was written by Reverend Tony Larson, who is the minister up in Racine for many, many years. He retired recently. And we're going to sing that song today. And Kelly and Hannah and Becky are going to help lead that, and you're going to sing along too. Here are the words. And this is Tony Larson's UU Principle song. is now time for the kids to join me for the religious education classes. We will be meeting downstairs, and you will probably find us outdoors when the service is over.
Please rise as you are willing and able and join in our song of affirmation. Sing loudly till the stars have heard. In joy feast on this bounteous word. Our praises call us to explore. Till sun shall rise and set no more. A reflection of our first principle, affirming the inherent worth and dignity of every person, can be found in the essay Listening for Our Song by the Reverend David Blanchard. In it, he speaks to that which is unique in all of us. Here are some of his reflections from that essay. Reverend David says, "While on sabbatical in East Africa, I heard a story of a people who believe we are each created with our own song. Their tradition, as a community, is to honor that song by singing it, as welcome when a child is born, as comfort when the child is ill, in celebration when the child marries, and in affirmation and love when death comes. It takes a while for many of us to figure out which is our song, which is the song that others would like us to sing. Our own songs sing back to us something of our essence, something of our truth, something of our own uniqueness. Our songs are the songs of life, giving testimony to that which has been, giving praise for all we've been given, giving hope for all we strive for, and giving voice to the great mystery that carries each of us in and out of this world." Let us now sing number 391, Voice Still and Small. We will sing this through twice. Voice still and small, deep inside all, I hear your call, singing. It's dark and rain, sorrow and pain, still you remain, singing. Calming my fears, quenching my tears, through all the years, singing. Voice still and small, deep inside all, I hear your call, singing. It's dark and rain, sorrow and pain, still will remain, singing. Calming my fears, quenching my tears, through all the years, singing. One of the defining characteristics of our community, and of Unitarian Universalism in general, is our commitment to justice, equity, and compassion, the second principle. The Reverend Sunshine Jeremiah Wolfe says, "It is a spiritual practice to commit and recommit ourselves to healing the world through our actions, justice, systems, equity, and hearts, compassion. An attitude of compassion is necessary for the other two to be possible. It is easy to have justice, equity, and compassion for and with people we like and get along with. The heart of this principle is what you do when it is someone you don't get along with. It means a commitment to loving words and deeds. It means a constant practice to build compassion in our hearts. Please join me in dedicating ourselves to justice, equity, and compassion by singing number 1014, Answering the Call of Love. Our third principle, the acceptance of one another and encouragement to spiritual growth, at its heart is also about community. We have all chosen to be in community with each other, to be together to celebrate and uphold each other with our joys and trials, our sorrows, and our exploration and expressions of that which gives life meaning. In our congregation this year, we have created a covenant of engagement stating how we will be with each other. Communities larger than a family need to have an explicit understanding of how we are expected to treat one another. A former minister of this congregation, the Reverend Kendall Gibbons, gives us these words on covenant. Our communities of memory and promise are founded upon covenants because we all need a defense against the impulse of immediate feelings that challenge our best intentions. It is necessary to be reminded from time to time of what you said you were going to do and what you really want to do over and above the lure of momentary comfort. Covenant is our word for the solemn promises that counteract the randomness of a future in which anything and everything is possible by committing us in advance to certain relationships and values. We do this because what we build with intention, and even with difficulty, is more satisfying in the long run than the pleasures that we happen to encounter. Let us now sing number 311, Let It Be a Dance, in celebration of our community. hold each other in our hearts and minds with all our joys and all our sorrows. We remember those facing health challenges and those experiencing losses. Even when the cares of the world weigh on us, may we find joy in our connections with each other and in the pleasures that life holds. Let us care for one another and for ourselves in all the ways we can. As we hold each other in our hearts and minds with all our joys and our sorrows, whether spoken or unspoken, let us take a moment to be quiet together. Please remain seated as we sing together Spirit of Life, number 123. The free and responsible search for truth and meaning, our fourth principle, is at the heart of Unitarian Universalism. We can find expression of our other principles in other religions or in secular organizations who selflessly dedicate themselves to justice, our environment, or safeguarding democracy. Only in Unitarian Universalism, however, do we find inscribed in our highest aspirations the demand to search for our own truth and meaning. We must discover for ourselves that which gives our lives value. Only in Unitarian Universalism are we charged to do this responsibly, not in a way that is easiest, but in the way that is true to our deepest expressions of ourselves. We must search for that meaning which speaks to our innermost values and connects us to those things we hold most dearly. To use religious language, we must discover that which we hold most holy.
When I
sea of it. It used to be a world half there, heaven's second-rate hand-me-down. But I walk it with a reverent air, 'cause everything is holy now. Everything, everything, everything is holy now. Read a questioning child's face and say it's not a testament. That'd be very hard to say. See another new morning come and say it's not a sacrament. I tell you that it can't be done. This morning outside I stood and saw a little red-winged bird shining like a burning bush and singing like a scripture verse. It made me wanna bow my head. I remember when church let out, how things have changed since then, 'cause everything is holy now. It used to be a world half there, heaven's second-rate hand-me-down. But I walk it with a reverent air, 'cause everything is holy now.
Thank you. As Unitarian Universalists, we affirm our fifth principle, the right of conscience and the use of the democratic process in our congregations and society at large. To many of us, this principle goes hand in hand with justice, equity, and compassion as the external expression of our faith. However, in our busy lives, it is often easier to sit back and analyze what is wrong and let the hard work of doing something about it fall to others. It is easy to get caught up in the little things of our lives rather than living out those values and aspirations that are most important to us. These words, excerpted from a reading by the Reverend Nathan Walker, speak to this. The question is not what happens when we die. Nobody really knows. The real question is, what happens when we stop living? Who here is dying a slow and numbing death? There's no time to be lulled by monotony. No, it is time to wake up, to rise up, and to carry ourselves into a day worth living. Let us live one day, this day, with passion and a sense of collective synergy. Let us live one day, this day, by asking questions that truly challenge us and make us feel alive. For today's question is not, what happens when we die? It is, what happens when we stop living? I know when I am faced with opportunities to act, and I feel I can't contribute to another thing, when I feel numbed and lulled by monotony, or overwhelmed by the minutia of everyday life, what I most need is a reminder of that inner fire of commitment to those values that are most important to me. Let us stoke our own inner fires by singing number 1028, The Fire of Commitment.
From the light of days remembered, words all began bright and clear, guiding hands and hearts and spirits to faith set free from fear. And the fire of commitment sets our mind and souls ablaze when our
The programs and operations of the church are supported by voluntary contributions of our members and friends. Each month, we share our offerings with an organization nominated by the congregation and selected by the special offering team. This month's organization is the Unitarian Universalist Prison Ministry of Illinois, or UUPMI, which equips UUs to transform institutions and transform people harmed by the prison industrial complex. The morning's offering to support the work of DuPage Unitarian Universalist Church and of UUPMI is given and received in a spirit of generosity and gratitude.
Our sixth principle encourages us to promote the goal of world community with peace, liberty, and justice for all. There are many obstacles we need to overcome in the struggle to realize this goal. There's nationalism, systemic racism, putting the love of power and money above the good of all people, to name a few. The root of these problems can be expressed as the fear of the other. The fear that others will come and change our lives, will take away from us that which we hold most dear. To help remove this fear, we must work toward holding compassion in all we do. Compassion in understanding others' fears, compassion in the ways we overcome those fears so that everyone can have justice and live in peace. And when teaching compassion, it is essential to encourage the understanding of the other, to help those who fear to know that those others are not so very different from themselves. I have always loved the hymn, "This Is My Song," for its simple and forthright declaration of love for one's country, together with the understanding that everyone, everywhere, has love for their homeland, too. Let us now sing number 159, "This Is My Song."
Song of peace for
Respect for the interdependent web of all existence of which we are a part is our seventh principle. Surely one of our most basic shared experiences is our shared existence on this small blue speck in space. Our home here is a miracle of existence which we celebrate and must protect. I find these words by the Reverend J. Woland touch upon the feeling in my soul when I think of our earth. When I look up into the night sky, I am in awe of all that is. There, in a faraway galaxy, a star has died, yet it is still bright for my eyes to see and make a wish upon. When I walk in the ocean, I feel the waves rush across my feet, and I feel a certain peace with the world. I peer out into the endless horizon, knowing they come from a place beyond where I can see. When I sit around the fire, I feel its warmth enter me without ever touching me, and I feel safe from the unknown. Wherever I am, I take in a breath, and I know I am in a present moment. All of these wonders that move us and make us feel alive and make us dream and make us wonder, let us protect them so that my children, our children, everyone's children, my grandchildren, our grandchildren, everyone's grandchildren, for generations upon generation, will also have the chance to look beyond the horizon and marvel at the wonder of existence. Blue Boat Home is surely the most popular hymn in this congregation, and is the most popular hymn in the UUA, as stated in a poll in the UU World. Blue Boat Home embodies the inspiration necessary to envision and enact our seventh principle of respect for the interdependent web. Our earth truly is our only home in the universe, where we are all pilgrim souls together, casting our questions into the deep, and together seeking the answers. We will now sing number 1064, Blue Boat Home. Please remain standing when we are finished.
Below me I feel no motion, standing on these mountains and plains, far away from the rolling ocean. Still my twilight heart can say, I
And now, please join hands if you are comfortable doing so, or touch elbows, or simply envision a connection to those beside you. The hand in yours belongs to a person whose heart is sometimes tender, whose skin is sometimes thin, whose eyes sometimes fill with tears, whose laughter is a beautiful sound. The person next to you, to whom you are connected, is seeking wholeness and knows that you are doing the same. As you leave this sanctuary, may your hearts remain open, may your voices stay strong, and may your hands remain outstretched.
Go now, go now in peace and joy, and sing like no one's listening, love like you've never been hurt, dance like no one's watching, and live like it's heaven on earth.